Jimmy, think about it. Getting a 2-slice or a 3-slice toaster. Which is the better option? It's one of life's most pressing questions. Right, Purdy. Like choosing between regular coffee and decaf. Seems small, but it changes everything. I saw this guy once, frozen in front of the toaster section in a hardware store. You'd have thought he was deciphering the Da Vinci Code. Probably debating if that extra slot was worth the effort. He called his wife 4 times, Jimmy, as if she had the secret map to toaster enlightenment. Maybe for him, picking between the slots was like facing Mount Everest. Makes you wonder, Jimmy, how does someone that indecisive even pick what socks to wear? Can you imagine him at a drive-thru? He'd be lost in all those choices, like each one's a big problem. Reminds me of that guy in aisle 3, baffled by the new spot for the breath mints. Moved 3 feet, but it might as well have been a different planet. It's strange how little things throw people off. You ever wonder, Jimmy, how some people enjoy their food a bit too audibly? You mean like those who turn a simple meal into a full-blown concert? Exactly. Just like Travis does to Taylor all the time. In fact, he did it the other day. Kelsey and Swift, this ought to be good. Yeah, after downing a couple sodas, he decided to burp in Taylor's face. Classic Kelce. Something tells me it didn't go well. Not even close. Instead of a burp, he ended up vomiting. What a shocker. Right on her shoe. And Kelce couldn't stop laughing, which only made it worse. Never a dull moment with those two. Never, Jimmy. And Taylor's always got a way of turning the tide on Travis. That reminds me, did you hear about Travis's latest mishap? No, but if Taylor's involved, I'm all ears. It was just another calm morning at the Kelce-Taylor Lodge. Travis and Taylor were both eating lunch. Then Travis sneezed. Into his food, right into his soup. What a mess. It went flying everywheres, even the crackers. Right at Taylor. What about Taylor's revenge? She didn't need to. Travis started heaving, setting off a chain reaction with their pets. That's priceless. Sometimes you just need to sit back and watch the show. Reminds me of Travis's camping fiasco at Camp Crystal Lake. How could I forget? That trip was one comedy skit after another, including Travis trying to be Mr. Smooth with Taylor, only for his brother Jason to turn their room into a disaster zone, thanks to his, unique social skills. Right, mistaking the couch for something else entirely. No way he dropped the number 2 on the sofa. Talk about a room with a new aroma. With stories like these, who needs campfire tales? Let's just hope tonight's tales are a bit less colorful. Agreed, marshmallows only, no drama. Oh man, what's he doing here? Who? Herbie, he just pulled up. Herbie? The car that always goes bananas. From the Disney movies? That's him, also known as the Love Bug. Wonder what he did to get that name. Don't let him fool you. He's a charmer. Courted this girl named Christine once, revved her up, and had her purring like a kitten for ages. Then one day just up and left her on the side of the road, drained of all her fluids. Abandoned. Hand broken. That's terrible. A few others tried to jumpstart her after that, but she became more bitter and bitter. She wanted revenge. Against Herbie? Against anyone. She's dangerous. She's dangerous, Jimmy. Some guy named Stephen King even wrote about her. It's one fast lady you don't ever want to get inside of. She keeps you in there. And that's when bad things happen, man. Drains you, huh? Completely sucks the life out of you. Last I heard, she's been following Herbie cross country, waiting for her chance to strike. Great. And now he's here with us. Hope she doesn't think we're in on something together. I know. She'd be one to draw instant conclusions without asking questions. And we'd be up to our necks in it. What if her and Taylor get to talking? And then they start talking about each other's love lives and form some super duo against us. That's a scary thought, Jimmy. They'd be unstoppable. It's like a revenge plot from an X-Files movie. The scorned car and the wronged pop star strike back. We'd have hit songs and horror stories all in one. Can you imagine the merchandise? Broken heart decals and oil-stained tees and the slogans? Drive him wild, then drive him away. Or break his heart, then break his transmission. But Herbie, he's a sly one. He might charm Christine right back. That's right, Herbie's got mad moves. Maybe they'll make up and hit the road, turning their tale into a love story. Or things could take a turn for the worse. What do you mean? Well, let's just say Herbie's a big fan of Taylor's. He might ask her for a ride. You know how much he'd love for her to sit on him and play with his shifter. Then Travis would be bored with Taylor gone, and he'd see Christine by herself, glistening in the sunlight after her morning washdown. He'd be so tempted to put both hands on the back of her chassis, hand dry her off, with an oversized towel, then slowly climb inside her, savoring her freshly detailed interior. He'd get so excited too. He'd start opening her windows and adjusting her mirrors. Wow, if Taylor ever found out, she'd go ballistic. Imagine the song she'd write then, Jimmy. Betrayal on 4 wheels would rise to the top. And Travis, he'd be in a whole heap of trouble. Can't just hop in another car after Taylor, especially not Christine. She's not one to be taken for a casual spin. The headlines would be wild, Jimmy. Pop star, tight end, and possessed car caught in crazy love triangle. It'd be a paparazzi frenzy. Every tabloid trying to get the scoop. And Herbie caught in the middle. The love bug in a love war. He'd have to choose sides, Purdy. Stick with his old flame or support Taylor. With Herbie's track record, he might just drive off into the sunset. Or maybe he'll try to play peacemaker. Imagine that. A car giving love advice. It'd be at first, but knowing Herbie, he might just pull it off. Or Wilson might come bouncing back and throw a wrench in everything. The football player? The volleyball. He and Herbie go way back. That's right. They first met after Wilson left Tom Hanks on that island. Herbie just happened to be driving by when he saw him floating on the beach. Wilson got so excited when he saw Herbie's trunk drive by, he knew he wanted to be inside of it. After all, it's so tight and dark in there. I think he was the first inside Herbie's trunk, wasn't he? Yeah, and it was an odd feeling at first, having a single ball in his trunk, but now that's the way he likes it. What kind of love triangle would this be then? The strangest you can imagine, Jimmy. It's like a Twilight Zone movie. Let's not forget the dynamics. Wilson's known for being quite the listener. That's true. He'd be the mediator, floating between Herbie's charm and Christine's wrath. Since drifting away from Tom Hanks, he's been through so much. Probably has the wisdom of Yoda by now. He could have his own talk show segment, I bet. Imagine the drama when Taylor writes a song about it. That'd top the pop charts for sure. But what would Wilson's role be in the song? The silent hero maybe? Or the ever-floating presence? Right, the emotional support volleyball. Then there's the whole dynamic if Wilson starts giving relationship advice to Travis. That's a reality show right there. It would be something else to watch. All those emotions, and Wilson just absorbing it all. The more we talk about it, Purdy, the more I think we got a hit series on our hands. Guess we'll have to wait and see, Jimmy. This is one show I don't want to miss. Definitely, Purdy. Pass the popcorn. It's going to be an interesting night. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow me and subscribe. I like it when people touch the like button. I'm Purdy Brock Jenkins. Who am I again? Purdy Brock Jenkins. And don't you ever forget it. Or I'll remind you.